to all targeted individuals, most of the time the targeting is doing a governmental agency. Depends on which country you are. They're called different names in America, FBI, CIA, in Russia, I don't know, KGB. There's probably something different now. I'm not up to date with those. In Germany in the 90s, there was Stasis. But the thing is, information always comes out 30 years after had happened. They will never talk about now, because now the things are happening now, but they will never talk about it, because if people knew what the governments and those agencies who are claiming to protect the nation are doing the quite the opposite. And doctors knows about it, the psychiatry knows about it, especially police knows about it, because they're all part of the police. They're all paid by police wankers, or I don't know what to call them. I really don't. Things that I know, it's, if my eyes would shoot, trust me, a lot of people would be gone. A lot of people. And I'm sorry, at the same time I'm trying to entertain my 8-month-old puppy. She is so tired. She still wants to play, but yeah. So the thing is, a human's primal instinct is to stay alive. So you would do anything to stay alive, even if that means breaking the law. Now, breaking the law, it's not like you're going to shoot something, or you're going to kill somebody, or, something harsh. But if you, for instance, I don't know, if they poison your food and you forced, for instance, if you go into a supermarket, you are forced to eat in a supermarket before you get to the checkout, because before you get to the checkout, your food is already poisoned. And the way they do it, if I tell you, you're not going to believe me, so I'm not going to even begin to tell you. So you eat stuff in the restaurant, people looking at you like she's crazy, and they play on that card. Especially the psychiatrists. Oh, it's not normal that you eat. Why? And if you tell the psychiatrist that your food was poisoned, if you tell them what you know, because your mind is clear, and you know what's going on, because it's been happening to you like for years, for decades, and you're not stupid exactly. Otherwise, if you were stupid, you're already brainwashed by the psychiatry. You're already brainwashed. And so they will try to make your actions look as psychotic. They will try to pin you with a psychiatric disease. And that's where the psychiatry is very handy for the police, for the undercover police, or all these fucked up satanic pedophilic agencies. Psychiatry is perfect. The psychiatry was actually built upon getting rid of people who don't fit into the society, like husbands. If their wives wouldn't comply, whatever he wanted, he would just commit her to a psych ward, and that was it. Or families, if the daughters didn't do what the family wanted them to do, like Mary, and they wanted to study, they would push her into a psychiatry ward for 25-30 years, And the horrendous story, I used to read what happened to those women. They were smart women. And also, why do you think they burned they burned witches? They were clever women. They didn't fit into the society, and they put them on a bit of fun into the context. Ow! She hits so hard. It's painful. Hold on. Just babysitting my puppy. She's kind of calmed down. Sorry, I don't even know where I stopped, so I'm just going with the flow. Once you start to defend yourself and your sanity, you start doing silly things by your logic. They are logical because you're defending yourself, so it's logical that what you do it's okay. But for somebody who's completely utterly blind to the fact that these things are happening, you become a weirdo. Total and utter weirdo. And also, what these fuckers do, the family disowns you. Family also makes sure that you don't have any friends because they start spreading lies about you. And so you become friendless. And if you are psychologically weak, you will talk about it to psychiatrists or psychologists, and they will put you in a psych ward, and they will give you 5 diseases, and they will treat you with 15 shitted tablets that will make you more crazy than you were before, because before you were not. You were just acting upon your instinct. Never, ever, ever disown your instinct. Never, ever. Lara Caparotto Arch was one of the girls, one of my favorite people when I was younger. She was my schoolmate. She was very smart. But obviously somewhere along the way, she got the feeling that she started to believe in conspiracy theories, and she started talking about it. They were probably even stalking her. I'm not sure about that part. Basically, she was treated in psych ward for alleged schizophrenia, saying that she made all these things up, and whatever was happening to her wasn't real. So what they did very successfully at the psychiatric clinics, they convinced her that that was her imagination, that was her other world, that was her disease. And they convinced her, so she wrote a book about how conspiracy theories don't exist. That's how brainwashed she is now. They love her. They support her. Of course, as a child, she was very, she didn't get things when she was younger she's supposed to as a child to grow up. So now that she wrote a book, she's getting all the attention, all the love, everything that she's supposed to get when she was younger. And it feels good. It feels justifiable. But Lara, Wrong timing. Wrong timing. You were too weak. You disowned your own God's intuition. You deceived God. You deceived him. You sold your soul to the devil. All states, all countries are satanic. We all know about Watts Grove and all the powerful families being. I'm not gonna go into the shit. You know, money does everything, literally everything. If the world was just, there would be no pedophilia. Agree? Agree. The world is not just, and I'm fighting pedophilia. And since I started doing that, shit hit the fan. Shit started to happen to me. I'm not going to talk about it. I every day post what strange things happen to me that don't make sense. For instance, lately, where I'm parked, all the foreign cars have started to park around my car, but not just any foreign car by now. Like, you know, the foreign car where there's a lot of mafia, that sort of stuff. I'm not going to name any countries because I don't want to offend anyone. My baby's just gone to sleep. My baby's just gone to sleep. I'm not going to be long because I want to comfort her to sleep more. So when you, yes, and you do break law because you want to survive. And you have to be really smart about it. But because they have all the, you know, all the strings, all the cameras, all the surveillance, there are many of them, they can afford to do whatever. Whatever. Any person on this planet can be tracked down, their history is known. Nobody on this planet can hide. No one. No one. Members of police have your records, psychological, medical, what medications you take, and also on addiction. That's another thing. Addiction is not that innocent. Addiction can be made by those fuckers. Yep. So sometimes people think, oh, I'm addicted, I'm shaking, but they never think that maybe somebody else is causing them that. Have you ever thought about that? No? You never will, because you live in a bubble. When we are born, our parents' minds are controlled, are brainwashed, and they treat the children the same. So we are all in the same bubble. How do certain people come out of that bubble? Because certain people realize what the fuck is going on. Certain people have high IQ, and they're not gonna put up with every shit that is given to them. And once you back off, once you move away from the big picture, then you see the truth. Then you see the truth. And it's ugly. It's so ugly. These fuckers are ugly. And they involve young girls, young children, Need any. Old people, any nationality, like the world is their oyster. The how what's the word? Oh, sorry. I was just disturbed by this woman. This is the second time I saw her, and yesterday she brought some food, and I made a habit of not eating food people offer me, because every time I try that food, it makes me really nervous. It makes my body like really tense and I get really angry. So I started vomiting that food, and as soon as I vomited that shit, I felt okay. I felt good again. So I made a habit of not eating other people's foods. Why would somebody want to poison me? That's another question. Perhaps somebody is spreading lies about me that I'm a really horrible person. When I say really horrible person, it would probably something along the lines of pedophilia or something else. Because if you think about it, when somebody approaches you, like for instance, undercover cop, did you know that undercover cops, they don't have to tell you the truth? They actually never tell you the truth. Never, ever, ever. So, if they are what they do, they probably say, oh, she's committed pedophilic crimes, but we couldn't charge it in court. But we're trying to get her into psychiatry by doing this and this and this and that. And people, because people are stupid, people believe that shit, and people engage into like, how can I help, you know? And they come here all nice and sweet and, oh, I'd like to help, and all concerning. And I see the play. I can see them play. It's really sad. I feel sorry for the people because they're victims. They're victims of satanic lies, of shit somebody's spreading. So, yeah, so she comes by, and I just said, please don't bring cheap dog food because my dogs don't eat it. So she looked very disappointing that I was, stood my ground. And I literally just took what I know my dogs would eat. The rest I just returned. I said, no, thank you, but no, thank you. And she was, she was really, and she gave me 20 euros. And they always give money when something is going on, when they try to do damage to you. I know that from many, many, many years of experience, too many years of experience. And another thing is, when she comes over to the car, she never drives by, she never comes by her car. She comes with her husband, who never says anything, ever. But when I see her walking, she just walks out. She just goes somewhere. I just don't see her car. She must have a car, because what she brings, it's heavy stuff. So, yeah, that's for now. We're holding on. And also, the taking pictures of my dogs has stopped, but what happened the other day? Oh, I'm too tired. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to continue tomorrow if I feel like it. The thing is, if the content of my video leans slightly towards I could be diagnosed psychiatrically, then it has lots of views. If not, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10. There's never in between. Ever in between. And I have a very sneaky suspicion whoever's doing this is preventing my videos where I spread awareness about what is going on about targeting individuals that are not being watched by members of public, by other members of YouTube. Because if the things were watched, I would get comments. I would get positive comments. I would get comments from people all over the world saying, certain stuff. I don't get any replies, which means probably I'm being watched, I'm being monitored, and somebody doesn't like me spreading the truth.